Hi there, I'm Dr. Marie Fang. Welcome to my video series featuring quick tips and tools to help you be your best self today. And today is Active Listening 101, and this is going to be 5 quick steps to help you be a better listener. So pay attention, because I need you to listen to this video in order to be a better listener. See what I did there? Step 1, when you're actively listening to someone, whether it's a partner, a colleague, boss, friend, child, whomever it is, you need to learn not to interrupt. And I know this sounds so simple, but it's so tempting to interrupt someone when we think we know where they're going. Like, oh, let me stop you right there. I see what you're about to say. Let me save you some time. And the reason why we want to not interrupt is because the simple act of interrupting, first of all, might derail what was actually happening. Maybe we don't know where that person was going with their statement, but also it sends a message that we don't really want to listen. We don't really care to take the time to listen to what the other person's saying, even if our assumption of where they're going is correct. Number 2, don't be afraid to ask clarifying questions. And if anything, try to find ways to ask clarifying questions. So that might sound like, when you said that I hurt you the other day, can you tell me more specifically what event you're talking about? Because sometimes we might be assuming they mean this, but they're actually talking about this totally different thing, and sometimes we need to ask those clarifying questions. And that doesn't communicate to the other person that you weren't paying attention. It only communicates that you really want to make sure you hear what they're saying. So don't be afraid to ask clarifying questions. Step 3 is, once you've heard a fair amount of information, particularly if there's emotional content in the information, you're going to want to validate the emotions. So something even as simple as saying, wow, that sounds like that was really upsetting. I mean, that can be an incredibly powerful statement even before jumping to any sort of problem solving or other content that might be in the conversation. Just taking a moment to pause and validate the emotions can go a really long way in helping the other person feel cared for and listened to, and they might be more open then to going into that problem solving mode or discussing the content, whatever is present to be discussed. And then finally, step 4 is synthesizing content. So we often think that we know exactly what the other person is saying when someone's talking to us, but frequently we don't. So saying, okay, I think what I heard you say is fill in the blank is really helpful. Both if we get it correct, the other person feels really listened to say, that's exactly what I was trying to say, thank you. Or a lot of times we get it wrong. Like, no, that wasn't really what I was trying to say. This is what I was trying to say. And we need to synthesize that content in order to get that clarification so we can really hear what the person is saying. And that leads to step 5, which is be open to receiving feedback. It's really tempting to think we're awesome listeners. Most people think they're pretty awesome listeners because what do you got to do? You're just going to sit there. I'm listening. Doing great, aren't I? But most of us have a lot of trouble actually listening and really hearing what the person is saying. And so when we go ahead and do step 4 and synthesize that content, a lot of times we're going to get it wrong. Don't be tempted to blame the other person. They didn't do a good job explaining it, all that stuff. It is hard to explain what we're thinking, what we're feeling a lot of times. But it's also hard to listen and hear accurately. So be open to receiving that feedback from the other person when they say, oh, actually, that's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to say something else. And to just listen, adjust, and allow that to be the case rather than getting defensive. So I encourage you to try these tools out, whether it's with a coworker, somewhere at work, in your family, with friends. It could be anywhere. You could be at the checkout line with talking to the grocery person and give it a try. See how it works. You may be surprised just how much of a difference it makes in your relationships. Well, I hope you enjoyed this quick tip for today of Active Listening 101. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe for more like this one. And until next time, I'm Dr. Marie Fang, and I hope you have a great day.